What's up, everyone? All the backers, all the Rivals 2 fans around the world. It's the Dev Ticket Tournament for May. You know me. I'm Dan Fernacey, involved in Rivals slightly. And this is...
Hi, this is Matt Worrell. I am lead producer of Aether Studios. Manager behind the curtain, sure.
The man behind the curtain. The man behind the Trello boards, the Gantt charts, the Excel spreadsheets.
When
I don't know.
Dan says jump, I say how high, and then I tell somebody to jump for me.
You say how many rows and how many columns.
That's right.
But today we're not making the game and stressing over deadlines because we're just gonna watch some developers play some non-developers, and hopefully developers win. I don't know how the commentary has gone in the past, but I am what they call a biased commentator, and I always cheer for whoever I feel like cheering for. And I don't do fair commentary because you know what? If you wanted fair commentary, then you should have hired a fair commentator.
Yeah, and the devs got the advantage. They get to play the game all week, and you know. It
is sad when we lose. When you think about it, the amount of time that we have to play the game.
We have all the advantage in the world. It's on them.
In our defense, though, we don't. It's not like we play it all the time because we have to make it. You can't play it all the time if you also have to make it a game.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out.
Much of Trevor.
Yeah, well, he's not fair because just like in Rivals, I remember a while ago someone making fun of me because I told them my controls were the default controls because if they weren't, I'd change the game. Trevor's the lead gameplay guy on Rivals 2 now, so it's like a lot of it is like if it has to feel good to Trevor to make it in the game. So he's like, of course he's gonna be good because it's all his years of playing different Smash games built into one.
Right.
And Rivals.
Yeah.
All right. So game one. Who we got?
Game's going already.
All right.
Beth versus Docs.
Let's go.
If you're in the comments and want us to say anything, let us know. Any questions about the game, let us know. But yeah, we got game one. Off to a hot start already with 2 fire characters.
Have we seen Docs before? Cool. I never played them.
I haven't seen this Zetterburn from Beth before. I've only seen Hermano, so that's exciting. And she's with it, man. Off to a really good start.
Yeah, let's go, Beth.
Being a very aggressive Zetterburn and, you know, kind of controlling the space, which is great.
I think Rano into Zetter does feel like a pretty Smash-specific path in Rano's thus far. You pick up the game, you're like, oh yeah, Rano, he makes sense. I could do that. It kind of feels like she, kind of feels like the other characters I like. And then soon after, you're like, wait a second, Zetterburn just people. Why am I trying to do all this stuff with Rano when I could just kill him at 80%?
But then somehow Rano becomes the more advanced character. At least that's how I view Rano. You have to be a little better at the game to play Rano. A little more advanced play. Yeah, I think so. Tech chasing, you know. Or Zetterburn, set him on fire and punch him. At least that's what I do.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see it. Oh, that up air. Galaxy.
Well, let's hope so at that percent.
That's a sweet spot, so that's something that Zetterburn still has, retains from Rival 1. He has, like, semi-sweets. So he has, like, on his aerial, forward air, and up air, he's got, like, stronger hitboxes, depending on where you hit him on the claw. Not as drastically different as, like, Clarence Tippers, right? Like, those are real sweet spots.
And impossible to land if you're me.
What, Clarence?
Yeah. I don't know. Trevor's just too fast.
Yeah, I think it depends on the attack. Some of her tippers I feel like I can land them very easily, and others
Hard. What advice would you give to people who are trying to get better at tippings?
I mean, the horizontal ones I think are the easiest ones to learn to space. Something like down tilt. You know how far away you're standing. I would go learn those first. Learn horizontal and then vertical, because I still struggle with like up air. Last one's pretty challenging.
And we try hard to make the visual language pretty clear about that with literally the tip of her sword. But once you get the hang of it, it just feels right. You'll know. And of course, game's coming with frame advance, so you can see, you can turn on hitboxes and see exactly where the tipper is.
Yeah, we saw a kill with back air tipper. Yeah, that's the whole reason we went for plasma for her element, was so we could have the sword be 2 colors from the beginning. Oh, let's go, Beth.
Aether Studios, will characters get their own victory themes at any point, or will we be having the default theme for everyone? I can take this question. We want more variety in the game. However, we've got to work with the brand, schedules, everything else. So it's definitely on the list, and it's definitely something planned for release. But you know, audio has a lot of work to do before we get to that, and things happen, reworks happen, sounds get modified, and so that extra work might get in the way of that. So I can't promise it for release, but it's something we do want to address. So we'll see. It's definitely on the list.
Yeah, I think it's on the schedule. The reason that it's a little murky this time is because in Rivals 1, it's like every character had a stage associated with them, and we're not doing direct order this time, so some characters have new themes tied to their stages and some don't. So we have to make sure that we have time to give the characters a unique jingle, even if they don't have a stage yet.
You'll see in a lot of our design decisions, the why is it this way? It's often get it working and then get it good. So
no, not like this.
Oh, Beth, she had the game,
and that we saw. That's the Edge Hog. So don't go too deep unless you can finish the stock, because right there we saw the reversal, held ledge, rolled up.
That's rough.
Yeah,
that's rough. Not what you want to do.
It's okay. I still believe in the devs.
Yeah, Beth, I think is showing that she's got the ability to win this match, but can't make mistakes. When Dox is just so elite.
Go Dox. Although, like I said, I'm still gonna cheer for the devs. Unless maybe against Trevor, at that point, Trevor wins. He's won enough.
Yeah.
It's a shame too to die off stage going a little too deep, because she did get the second KO with like a sweet down air off stage, so it's like you're building your confidence out there, and then now we'll see in this game too if she's a little nervous pursuing off stage because of how that game ended.
Right. So Beth on the team is responsible for a lot of netcode and basically the gameplay loop in terms of menus. So from character select to the results screen, that loop and how you get back into matchmaking and how you're connecting to different regions with a combination of other members on the team. That's Beth's main responsibility. So any feedback there, yeah, let us know and we'll get it to Beth. But also a fantastic Zetterburn player and Veterano. Not a hot start to this game too, though. What's different in this game, Dan? Think it's that timidness that you mentioned?
She hasn't really gotten much opportunity to even pursue off stage yet, so not quite that. I think more like, I mean, this match was pretty volatile in Rivals 1 as well, because they're a bit similar in how they approach the fight, but Claire just has like so much more range.
Oh, that was a great spike we just saw.
Yeah, there, maybe, you know. Not having to go as deep because that spike was started higher up, but still getting a KO with a down air off stage. Maybe the confidence. Oh, no. You should have tried to go up, not hit Nas.
Docs.
Sorry. I don't know why. Got two different. Not even.
Oh, went for the same spike. Oh, it's gonna punish.
Let me just change like all the letters. I kept the O. Remember that.
You're close. That was a tipper. That would have been it. Oh, I feel like she could have gotten back on stage.
I mean, there you're trying to go deep so you don't get caught by what Docs is doing on stage. But there we go.
Very good. Yeah, that'll kill.
That's the biggest thing about playing Zetter is other characters like just don't get those kills from center stage like that. Like 100% center stage, uncharged, strong attack, only really, you know, working because putting fire on first.
Don't get lit on fire. It's their fault.
Oh, this comeback is real. Let's go, man.
Ooh, a little too greedy with those fireballs. Leave himself exposed.
Get up special. And get back. Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Yeah, Beth needs to find the groove. It's just defense, 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 and it's not working.
Oh, that's
throwing some. There it is. Oh.
It's gotta be tech in these. Oh, there's
that'll do it.
Up there.
Don't waste my time.
Wow, 2-0. I don't even know. Is this best of 2 or best of 5? Or best of 3 or best of 5?
Best of 3.
Then that's it for Beth.
Beth going in a loser's bracket.
Well, Docs is showing up early, putting his name on the.
Showing already better than me at Claire and in Rivals 2 by landing an up air tipper. Which takes some time. Because it's like, yes, it kills as we saw, but like getting the spacing down, knowing what moves combo in a way where you can actually like get that full hop up air in time. That's stuff you got to practice and closes the game on it.
I'm looking through the chat for questions. If anyone's got any questions about development, about what we're up to this week or this month, let us know. What we do at the studio, etc., as we get the next map going.
Game 2, baby.
I don't even have.
All right, so devs on stream so far 0-1. You know, not great, but that's okay. Only one loss. Just look at the positives. And also, we want to make sure that the backers have they're super backers who got into this tournament, right? The people who I forget. It was a high tier. So we got to make sure they have a good time. And what's the best way to have a great time is by winning, you know? So even if we didn't win, not saying we're throwing, but if we don't win, you know, technically we're just supplying a better product for our fans. So Johns and excuses and option select. If we win, it's because we're good. If we lose, it's because we're good people. Boom.
Got a couple questions. What feedback did you guys get from the last beta that you agreed?
You need to be able to hold the B button to go back on character select, both locally and online.
Very important.
That was the number 2 request. Definitely agree on that. It's coming. Should be in the June beta. More regions, we agree with. That was like number 4 request. I think South America specifically was up there. Crouch canceling was a big one. There were a lot of things that happened at once, so the reaction tech chase changes did make crouch canceling better in some regards, right? The fact that it took longer to go into tumble meant that you could stay in flinch longer by crouching tilts and stuff. Also just ASDI down in general is pretty strong. There's a couple changes going in that Trevor's doing for the June beta that's addressing it. So much to the point where it's going to feel pretty different. I think there's a bug fix that makes multi-hits a lot harder to basically crouch cancel / floor hug. So that's going to look a lot different in the June one already. I think a lot of people were complaining about crouch canceling. But I think it's a two-part issue. One, yes, it was stronger, so that was not intentional, and we'll fix that. But two, people also getting better. Once you like get past the first couple, like the first 10 hours of Rivals 2, you're going to run into people who are crouching. And there are counters to it. So I'll just say that, like, a lot of devs on the team, we ran into it. Like, I had to get through it. I remember when I first played against Trevor, who loves to hold down, I was like, we got to nerf this. Especially, so once they start going into knockdown, like, I agree that it's a problem, especially when they are just going into flinch and they hit you right back. But once they go into knockdown, there's a lot of counterplay to it, to the point where, yeah, people will figure out that it's not always the best thing to do. You can get blown up, especially against characters with like a good down tilt if you just sit there holding down.
What kind of buffs are you planning for Crag? I think Rock could be better.
No, not Rock.
Crag has already been dominant, so gotta wait for a bit for seeing buffs there.
I mean, the tier list right now is very nebulous. Yes, we're looking at balance and we're seeing it. Right now, it's more, we're just nerfing stuff that doesn't have counterplay. That's like all we're doing in terms of balance right now. Yeah, we'd like to do some buffs where we can. If we're doing buffs, we're really just looking at moves that like that aren't fun because they don't do anything. Like an example move that we just buffed was Rano's spinning up B when you do up B and then you hold A. Just making the hitbox bigger, making it have a bit more hit stun so it actually links into itself. Those kinds of things, because that move just kind of, people fall out of it and it's basically useless. Those are the kind of buffs we're interested in. In terms of buffing a character because we think they're at the bottom of the tier list, that's not really too important to us right now because, honestly, each time there's a tournament, the tier list is shifting. You know, if Cake Assault shows up and plays Fleet, then all of a sudden now Fleet feels stronger than it was before when MSV showed up and was playing Crag. So, yeah, we're more concerned about like counterplay and then also making sure all the moves are fun to use and worrying about if Crag is better than Cypher.
Right on. All right, we got our next match. We've got Menace versus Evil Nardwar. Luke is our QA on the team. He's done a fantastic job helping collect beta feedback and bugs. It's been a tremendous help on the team as kind of responsibility fell to me, and I was doing a terrible job of it. And Menace has been fantastic on the team in reporting bugs and giving suggestions on how we could fix issues. So he knows the ins and outs of the game, and who just got knocked? Oh, CD.
Okay, all right. CD won, or got to third place or something last tournament, right? Didn't I lose to CD?
I was just bragging about how Luke knows the ins and outs. Well, it looks like CD's got the inside read.
Yeah, if he really knew the game in and out, then he would have been lost there.
It's true.
No. I think a lot of people in the beta tier list, like I said, going back to balance, had Loxo on the bottom side, but as we've seen in these developer tournaments, Loxo tends to have, he shows up in the developer bracket, that's for sure. Especially among the super backers, they all seem to have a good Loxo. So let's go. He got second at the last tournament, losing only to Grabber. Ooh, we can't be sure Trevor wasn't playing Lockdown himself. We'll never know because we're not going to open the box.
I am writing down your questions in chat, and we will get to them after the match.
Yo, that move looks so cool when it's purple. Yeah, Zetterberg fourth row. love it. People are like, why does Swords Throw light on fire when Special Pummel also lights on fire? Because it's sick, okay? Because it's dope. That ending was kind of dope if you're a CD fan. If you're a developer cheering for developers, once again, we're in a hole.
Loxodon has just been very oppressive lately. People, yeah, we need to figure out how to beat this elephant. This is crazy.
I think the Zetterburn can do it, but it's hard. Zetterburn versus Loxo reminds me, it's like the goal of it is the same as Zetterburn versus Sylvanos in Rivals 1, where you like get close and you use Shine to disrupt Loxo's Loxo's a little bit slower, right? That doesn't have anything like frame 3 like Shine. The downside is if you're in disadvantage the whole game, then it doesn't matter if you have beat frame Shine, because you're just getting beat by big hitboxes. Now, Fleet is a very interesting character because a lot of top players kind of have gravitated towards her, meaning that we're seeing like pretty good level of like kind of optimization on the character already, but she's definitely one of the harder characters to pick up if you're just getting into like the game and you are good at platform fighters and you want to have good results online. I think Fleet's probably one of the hardest to pick up fresh, which feels so different. So I think to new players she feels very weak right now, but to top players we've already seen pretty good results from her. I think Keiko has a complete void playing Fleet back in the starter events. I know there was a lot of good Fleets in the betas that people were playing online.
I saw a fantastic Fleet at the Colorado local a couple weekends ago. I'm forgetting the player's name, but yeah, actually beat a Loxodon. It was pretty impressive.
It was probably
Loxodon
has
Loxodon has a huge hitbox, so the up strong was very effective for getting to the last one. But this is just dominant play from CD.
CD, playing good. Looking already better from last month too. Definitely probably got some practice in on the last weekend, beta weekend. Because this is looking very convincing. It's the
You don't deserve
the Sia into the ledge grab into the death. Kind of funny.
Wow, what a round by CD. Just no room for worry. Just yeah. I think what 2 stocks total from Luke? That's
yeah,
rough.
I think I only dropped 2 stocks, so that's 0-2 for devs on stream. So maybe we should call it the backer ticket tournament instead of the dev ticket tournament. We still all have Trevor. Remember that.
Yep. All right, we've got a ton of questions. So I'm gonna run through some, and then Dan, if you disagree with my answers, jump in.
Okay.
Any plans for offline beta play? There are locals now that you can play offline. We're planning out when we're going to have offline play outside of the betas. If you want to have an event during the beta weekend and play local there, you're more than welcome to. But generally, we're only bigger tournaments are playing offline right now. And if you would like to have a tournament, reach out to us. And then leading up to release, we're probably going to have more local events.
Yeah, contact George. I think the main way is just DM the Rivals of Aether Twitter account, ideally from your account that is your tournament, right? So if you have a tournament account or your TO who has followers, do it from that account so we can, poke around your community. And then you are free to run any local events you want during beta weekends. And all the beta weekends are announced up through August. So that means if you go on and you say, hey, June, I forget what this one is, 23rd or whatever that weekend is, you want to run an event, then you can run an event, do it on the playtest beta, and yeah, that's up to you. So there's already been 2 beta weekends where people have done just that. They kind of shifted their locals, or they moved them monthly so they could have Rivals 2 in addition to like their other games that they're running.
Are there any plans for non-player characters to be in story mode content like Bradshaw? If you've seen our developer updates, you know that story mode is cut from release or pushed off of release. So no plans as of right now for things like that. We do plan to have non-player characters appear in different ways, and you'll have to tune in to find out what that's going to be in the after release.
Yeah, the big thing for story mode is it is paused right now, development, right? So we had a team, it was basically a 5-person team working on story mode that we unfortunately had to let go back in January. So what our goal is, get the game out, get people playing it, and then reinvest resources back into story mode. So at that point we'll have people come in, whether in reforming the team basically, and then putting resources on it. But we kind of weren't able. It's basically, if you're trying to make a fighting game and a story mode at the same time, you're basically making a single player game and a multiplayer game at the same time, and it was very challenging for our studio to do both. So we're focusing on getting the fighting game good first, and then we'll add single player content as we go.
Will there be any physical reward sneak peeks? Yes, but not until we've kind of established that it's done, it's shipping, so not for some time. But they are all in progress right now. We're working with the manufacturers there. So will you get a sneak peek before it's delivered to you? Yes. When that will be, when we know that it's final and is in manufacturing. So there's the answer there. When prettier UI? Stay tuned for every beta. As you see, the UI is already improving in this beta. It will continue to get better in each beta. So we are actively updating the UI and updating screens. So how we are working right now is we make it functional, and then we add the art on top of it. So you're going to see a lot of in-progress work. Each beta, there's going to be some out of programmer art, and then artist art, maybe the next beta. So every beta you will see prettier UI. Skins are going to be in the next beta. Are they going to be available to buy? No. If you purchase skins on the Kickstarter, we plan to have them available for skin redemption in this next beta. We are hoping that feature is going to be online. We're testing that soon. We expect it to be in the next beta, and we will let you know if that's not going to be the case. But no skin purchases this next beta, but you will have access to your purchased skins if you already purchased them.
I think you can still get if you're
you
a
can
backer,
get on the pledge manager.
Yeah, you can still add the skins. You can add them today and get them in the June beta. I think during the beta, that might be risky. Like, it depends on how quickly we're fulfilling codes. But if you go in and you can see. So all the skins that were revealed in the Kickstarter are also up on the Pledge Manager. So like Tuxedo Rano, Bandit Maple.
If you want skins in the beta, I definitely recommend you update your pledge now on Pledge Manager, which you can find through our website, rebels2.com.
Yeah, so you'll not only get codes for your retro skins, and your early bird. If you qualified for that, you can also get additional skins. So if you did the Bandit Maple deal for Black Friday that we did, or if you added skins via Pledge Manager, you can get all of those skins unlocked for the June, and all the betas going forward after June is the plan. So you'll be able to use them in July and August as well.
Cool. Are any non-playable background characters going to be in the in Jules Vale? No plans for that today, but that is a great suggestion. And wait, I know it's in Rivals 1. Animations take time, my friend. Sorry.
Yeah, it's animation, budget, and modeling. It's a lot. Basically, the people who would be doing that are the same people who are doing characters. So
all right, we've got backer v backer now.
Oh boy.
Who do you go for now, Dan?
That's a tough one. I mean, I lost to Skeety in the April tournament, so you know, should prove that it was a good L by cheering for CD now.
How awesome is this matchup? Claire and Loxo. It's as the story is written.
Well, according to the lore, it's the most important matchup. I saw a meme on Reddit of somebody talking about the Rivals lore, and it's me, and it's the one with the pool of water, and I'm like picking up the fire people, and then I forget who's drowning, but then there's like at the very bottom,
It's not my time!
maybe I forget, it was like Absum or an analyst maybe, who don't have like any, all they have is like the website. But yeah, we definitely do favor Fire Nation when it comes to the story. They
got
have
comics, got videos, she's got...
It's just the most fleshed out so far. Every character, ideally, you know, will get story developed as time goes on, but Fire definitely got a lot of the early plot lines.
We're gonna pitch the Daedalus story to Frank Miller, right? We're gonna get the Mad Max Daedalus.
Yeah, sure.
Nice. Heard it here first, everyone. Big announcement. Just kidding. So, what's working in this matchup? It's looking like
Clarence looking pretty good.
Dox has the advantage. Very slight though. It's tight. Nice. Make the most out of the stock. Very good. Ooh, Galaxy.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know which character. Like this one, I can see. When these characters first came online and were playable, I definitely thought this matchup was Clarence favored. Clarence favored because having disjointed being fast is better than having disjointed being slow. But I don't know. It seems like
Both
a
got
pretty good
tremendous
matchup.
reach. Such range.
Such range.
Yeah. Oh,
That was almost a he died.
he's got to be careful. Yeah. Dox is playing this last stock well. But Lox is just so strong, any hit can really take you out.
Oh my gosh, I'm surprised I didn't KO.
Was that Tipper?
Yep. And he EI'd it in, which... Oh, that didn't KO either!
Neck and neck.
KO'd off the top. They are getting the sour. She just kind of... Back air finishes the game! Let's go, CD.
Wow. CD pulls ahead.
That's a good match.
Did not think that was going to happen. I thought Dox had that game.
I did too. As soon as that last sour F strong didn't kill as well, and then going off stage, I was a little nervous, but I did not think it was just gonna, you know, end that quickly.
We're already back to the next match.
Alright, now
Set.
since I've been playing a lot of the dev tournaments, I will say this is probably one of the hardest. Right as you start a match after you lost one close where you were up, and then you lost it at the end, you really need to like take time and like breathe, because it's so easy to just like let the momentum snowball and then you just lose.
Yep. And now Dox is darn near lost his stock.
Yeah.
This match a little hot.
We're definitely seeing that effect here. I will say though, yeah, if you can slow it down,
Ooh, good, yeah.
you can get back to what made you lead that game one, but it's a lot of
You know, they say tennis is a mental sport. Would you think that Rivals is a mental sport, or is it all physical?
Oh, I listened to on an audiobook, The Art of Tennis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to try to help with Rivals in particular. There's a lot of overlap for sure. I think the biggest thing that book teaches, and that like just competitive gaming in general teaches is like you want to be at a point where when you are playing, you're like doing very little conscious thinking.
Right. You're in the zone.
You want your practice to be where you're like making all the improvements and the adjustment, and then when you're playing, you're just adapting to things on the fly.
Typically, if you're thinking, what should I do? It's already too late.
Right.
Yeah, those gaps in between the game, that's when you need to be thinking like, okay, why did I lose that? What are they doing? What's not working? And come up with a game plan. But man, you've got, what, 10 seconds, 30 seconds to figure that out? Tough.
Yeah, and at that point, you're trying to just break it down into like a simple thing you can improve.
So we got a whole stock that Doc needs to make up. How would he do it?
Well,
Not like that.
Yes.
Oh no! Wow. BD continuing to be dominant this tournament. He's the one to beat.
Gosh. Yeah, I would say the opposite of what we just saw is how I would try to do it. So you know how like CD was comboing to death? Like I would have tried to done that to CD, right? That same thing, but reversed.
Yep. Heard it from Dan.
I would simply not get hit.
Are there going to be any training mode updates for the next beta?
I don't know if we have any on our to-do list. Training mode is generally Trevor and a little bit of Kel's supporting there as well. At least the replay side of training features because they're kind of correlated. I don't know if we have anything tracked for the June beta.
We've got bigger updates planned for outside of core gameplay planned, but that's a long tail. It's coming not this next beta.
We are still missing some basic stuff from training mode that we built, but it's not in because the AI is not at that level yet. So even just like being able to set the CPU to like tech and roll and hold shield, all that stuff is not in the game. That will be in the game for launch, but I don't know. I don't think we're targeting the June beta for it. I think it's probably a July or August beta in terms of the timeline for those kinds of features.
Right.
And training mode's another one where we're going to try to get as much stuff as we can at launch. Like even save states is something that is in the training mode, right? That's in the ones that backers get, I believe. It should be in there. But whatever we launch with, it's not like we're going to stop training mode. Like if we can add more features and more support, we're going to keep adding stuff. So like
add to the feedback forms every beta. Let us know, because like we've got to choose what we want, and if something's very highly upvoted, we will definitely address it. Recolors for colorblind. How do you tell characters apart? Any plans to do like a colorblind mode or any sort of recoloring to help distinguish characters?
Yeah, I think we'll probably do one. We'll do before even colorblind, just some like bigger team visibility displays, right? So like optional outline, optional overlay, so not the defaults. And then on top of that, we're gonna want to add some colorblind options because just making sure that the colors we choose are not blending, for the different types of color blindedness. So we'll have like, I don't know, maybe you can shift it to colors that are a bit safer, like yellow, and I forget what other color you can contrast with it. Maybe blue and yellow don't. But yeah, we'll do. I think the first thing is going to be just some general visibility, and then we'll also apply some color blind options for launch. Is our goal.
Loxo buffs. I can answer that one. Not right now. Leffen playing today. I think not. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong there. Any plans for more stages? We plan to do some more stages for free-for-all and doubles, but no additional stages from what you see here by release.
No, yeah. So right now, actually, we had Ty and Mason on our team heading up environment for the last couple years. We actually don't have anyone currently on environment art, so like these are our 10 stages at launch. But we do want to, expand and do more stuff with stages. Similar to like story mode, it's one of those things where we we got to get this out and functional, and then we can expand from there. We do have like more concepts in terms of different locations, and even ideas for like different layouts that could be added into the mix.
So we got some crag on crag action, and we've got a developer. How you feeling about how Jamie's doing so far, Dan?
I play against Jamie's crag a lot, and I would say, yeah, I'm not surprised when it wins. When it loses, that's when I sit up. I pay attention. I'm like, alright, what do I need to do to also do this? I think Jamie has the head-to-head on me now too. Initially, I would beat him, but then he leveled up, and now he beats me.
I'm glad to see Jamie's back to playing Crag. There was a minute there where he was all about Loxodon after the Crag buffs after Genesis, or Crag nerfs after Genesis.
Even developers are susceptible. Just getting sad when their character gets nerfed. I mean, Maple was playable. I won the dev tournament, and then immediately Trevor just nerfed every single Maple move. But also, it was there. Dude, he's up there. That's the move that was nerfed. That move. Why are you not entertained? That was the move that was nerfed. Still works apparently. You just gotta land this one spot. That's the only thing now.
So Jamie's doing what he needs to do to win this game. What makes Jamie's Crag so effective? Well, if you ask Jamie himself, he would say he's got more cheese than anybody.
I mean, he plays
the cheese.
He plays the Rivals 1 stuff. Well, he's also good at Ultimate, so I think it's combining. I think the best people in Rivals 2 right now are people who are able to combine, let's go, Rivals 1 gameplay with Smash gameplay, right? Because that's kind of what the game is, right? It's like a melding of Rivals with, you know, all the other platform fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who like are finding the most success are like, if you ignore all of Rivals 1 gameplay, right? So you play Crag and you don't use Rock, you don't use down special, you just purely rely on like throw combos and things like that. You can do really good, but I think like the best players are ones who are able to kind of use the whole moveset and then also, you know, do the throws and all those combos as well. And I think Jamie does that really well. Like he'll kill you with just Rock. If you let him.
Mm-hmm. First thing he does right out of the gate, Rock. Oh! Down special, that was hilarious, or forward special, that was hilarious.
The other thing that Jamie's learned too is how important Rock is as a resource. I think when you first pick up Crag, you're just mostly concerned about it as a projectile and hitting your opponent with it. But over time, you realize like its placement is not just important for being able to get back to it, so you can have your projectile again, but also things like the forward special jump cancel that Jamie loves to do. If you hit Rock with your forward special, you can jump out of it just like you hit a player, but only for a short period of time. And that can be a really good way to not get punished. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're playing someone fast like Maple. Like, Maple can pretty much always punish the end of Crag's forward special if he doesn't hit.
Mm-hmm. I think something about Jamie's Crag too that I really like is he makes a slow character look fast, and that's through cancels, that's through combos, and just knowing, you know, the hitboxes and where everything lands. So really studying like what the character does and where things start and end really make a slow character feel fast. I just feel like I'm getting comboed into, you know, into a box when I play against Jamie. Like I can't really do anything, and that's because he's got the timing figured out for all the different moves. Like right there, threw the Crag up, denied the air, and then followed up on the bottom. So it's just like putting him in a cube, a rock, if you will.
Yeah. It's one of the funniest parts of like learning platform fighters is when you learn that a slow projectile in a lot of cases is better than a fast projectile. Because how it covers space. Because part of the reason he's fast is he does that neutral throw, and then he's already moving and covering. You know, he has basically 2 hitboxes out at a time because he's also using the neutral layer underneath it.
And Jamie's using the Soccer Crag skin, which will be free for all players on release. Is that free for all players or just the people that back to Kickstarter?
It's free for everyone because we hit that stretch goal. So
Wow.
everyone will get this skin unlocked on their account forever.
But Dan, we could have used that money for another character. We could have made Slade with all the money we would have gotten from Soccer Crag.
You think he was? How much do you think Soccer Crag would have made?
I don't know.
We should break down character costs at some point.
I have no data. We haven't sold the skin yet, or haven't sold the skin in game yet.
Well, we got the someone pledge manager. We can do some extrapolation math.
That's true. That's true. But that's not a true representation of our player base.
Well, we hit the stretch goal, so we gave it to them. It was a prize. It wasn't free. It was a reward. It was like a group project, and the group got an A, and then they got a prize. We brought them all to Pizza Hut, and we got them a personal pan pizza known as this Crag skin.
Chat, am I ruining the fun of creating skins? I'm just worried about, you know, how much they make. Don't even talk about how cool they are, how awesome it is that this skin's gonna be free on day 1.
I did see somebody, I don't know if I think it was on the beta feedback, complain about this skin that this one might have too much contrast, and that might actually be fair. That's something I could talk to Jamie about after this. Is a couple of the palettes, like this one, the black and white on the shell.
Yeah,
It's probably like a little jarring. You could probably go to like off-white and off, you know, like not quite full black, not quite full white.
Right.
I think would help a little. I was like, yeah, that's good feedback. You just make it like a dirty soccer ball, basically.
Ooh. Tight match. Oh, bad DI. Could have made it. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. Are Dungeons characters coming to the game? Is Slade alive? Yes, Slade is alive. Not going to be there on release. All Dungeons characters are planned eventually. They're on the list. When we get to them, it's
Hey,
going to be
wait
tough.
a second. That's not actually.
All characters in Rivals 1 will return to the game. Hey, the Dungeons characters, they're on the list. The list is also like wide and deep. So
Yeah, but I don't think all Dungeons characters are planned eventually. We never said that. This would be an
That's true.
announcement, Matt.
That's true. Okay, it's I'm not saying they're planned. They're on the list. So.
They're considered.
Yes, correct.
We
Of
have
course.
said.
You kidding me?
Well,
You're gonna have all that great art for those characters and not consider them?
we have said. I mean, a lot of people said we did say we want to bring all the Rivals characters back eventually, and people meant, assume like all the Rivals characters are going to come back. It's like, yes, but not one. Yes, they're all being considered return. I think as long as this game runs for as long as we want it to run, eventually all the Rivals characters are going to come back. But we're not. It's not like the first, whatever. I don't know how many characters are left after launch. 10.
Speaking of that, is there any intention to launch the newer characters, returning characters before the older ones?
The newer returning characters before the.
So it's like, is there any like intention for having new characters versus returning characters? What's the philosophy and like what characters to pick, whether they're new or old?
Oh yeah, I think basically what I was gonna get into is like we're definitely balancing it. We want to do new characters because both from a lore perspective and gameplay, like it's more fun to get to experiment with new designs, like Fleet and Loxo. I honestly don't consider either of them new characters either. They are both like lore characters, so new movesets, but pulling from the Aether universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we plan on doing that. So characters coming from the Aether universe that weren't playable in Rivals. We plan on bringing back characters from Rivals. We plan on adding new characters with new lore into the universe. And we're balancing all of those against each other. And then we're also looking at how difficult we consider the characters to be. So Fleet, for example, pretty high difficulty to figure out her dice and stuff. versus Zetterburn, much more straightforward. So like making sure we have a good balance on that front. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and the list is gonna be very long, and characters also take us a while, right? Like if you look at any fighting game these days, it's not like, you know, you're putting out characters once a month or whatever. You know, it takes time. I think Street Fighter 6, I don't know how long it took for them to get through their first season update, but you know, they added 4 characters over however many months.
If you want more characters in the game, spread the word about the game. The more players we have, the more people that buy the game, the more people that buy skins in the game, the better the studio does. The more people we get to hire, the more characters we get to make. So that's high on the list of things that we want to expand into. But right now we kind of have a set character limit per year, and I don't want to push that any higher than we need to, because we need to preserve the quality of those characters and also not run our animators ragged. What's our thoughts?
Even from a gameplay perspective, like you don't want the roster to balloon too quick, because like a fighting game, I feel like your sweet spot is once you get up around like 40 so characters, things feel really good. If you get up to like Smash Ultimate levels, like just playing that game competitively to me, especially if the characters are so different, right? It gets crazy, right? Like how many matchups do you have to know just to be able to go to a tournament and compete? So yeah, it's not only like our manpower, but also like how complex do you want the meta to be? It's all going to be part of it, of how often the roster expands for us.
Do we have any plans on adding announcers?
No, but we should. We should do that.
We'll save that. The philosophy on updating returning characters, I'm going to get to. It's a bigger question, so I'm waiting for a good time. Any thoughts on CC indicators, Dan? Really quick. What's a CC indicator? Isn't them squashing down the crouch?
I know. I get the question. Is like a V effect or something. I mean, maybe it's one of those ones where it's, yeah, you kind of have to know it. I think Trevor's actually playing with a idea right now where crouch canceling is only doable in like the full crouch state, not crouch start, which means the like 6 frames where you are starting to crouch are no longer crouch cancel. So even that alone is going to help, because you'll have to be able to see a crouch before they actually crouch cancel, right? Because it's like, if you didn't see it come out, then they're not getting it. In terms of like a visual indicator once it's happened, I think it's not a bad idea. We have so much VFX right now, though, that we'd have to do it in a smart way that it doesn't feel
too busy.
Yeah, because basically crouch cancel is like a subtraction, not an addition. So like maybe it should be a sound effect. But yeah, we'll think about it. If it becomes more of if it's as big of a deal as it is right now, I think we'd want to make sure it's more obvious. But the next beta should be toned down a significant amount. So. Also, The other thing is a lot of people say CC, but they actually they just mean floor hugging, right? So like, even if you had an indicator on CC and somebody stayed on the ground because they ASCI'd down, the indicator wouldn't come up if it was just for crouch canceling. So yeah, there's a lot that would go into adding a visual for that.
So this is the matchup we've been waiting on. Jamie versus CD. How you feeling?
Rematch, right?
Is it your rematch from last week?
I think so, because
last month? Yeah.
I lost to CD, and then I had to leave. But I think the game after that would have been Jamie versus CD, and I think CD won.
Wow.
He got second.
Jamie looks like he remembers. He's got a couple of cheeky moves.
It was game 5, losers finals. Kels is letting us know, which that's pretty close. That's about as close as it gets. Hopefully it was last hit.
Oh, what an up smash! Strong, up strong.
Yeah, routed.
An up air. Yeah, Kels, where are we at in the tournament? I need a bracket sent to me. Semi-finals, all right.
This is
I
winner.
have to say we haven't seen Trevor yet, so.
Is the winner of this gets to
finals.
play Trevor? That's what we're looking at. Wait, winner of this goes to Grands?
Wow, Trevor got upset by Docs. Incredible.
Wait, so this is winners finals. Oh, sorry.
Alright.
Cool. I thought I heard winners semis. My B. This is winners finals. The winner of this is in Grands, sitting on the winner's side of the bracket.
So we got a couple of the best in the tournament so far. And it is neck and neck. I mean, Crag might be, or Loxo might be down right now, but you know, he's got the power to just turn around a stock in an instant. So don't count him out.
Neither of these characters really have necks. Yo, let's go.
Fair enough.
Let's go, devs. So when Trevor falters, stumbles, gets upset by Docs, we have the other dev, Jamie, the other hidden boss, holding the fort as of right now, up 1-0. Got to take out 2 more, I would imagine. Best of 5 for winners finals. But I believe in Jamie.
He's got one under his belt. Sorry if I'm not answering some of your questions. A lot are coming in, and I just want to get to the kind of simple ones so we can answer them correctly. So if you didn't get your question answered, if you can try to ask it in a straightforward way, it'd be easier to answer it.
Oh, chain grabs with the regular pummel. Wow. And I didn't know that regular pummel actually had a good use. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll integrate that into my game and stop putting feedback on the beta board that regular pummel's useless. Not that I'm salty or anything. No, actually, I'm on most people's side. I've been trying to buff. I should share my buff idea that Trevor told me no to this week.
Oh, here we go.
I was like, Trevor, what if every time you do a regular pummel, your throw gets ISA 5 frames?
Oh!
That was good. So, in every throw would get 5 less frames of recovery if you normal pummel first. And he was like, that would open up so many things that we'd have to test. Like guaranteed confirms, right? Something like, you know, Crag down throw into down strong being true on like every DI. I'm like, yeah, but that's what I want. I want like there to be a good reason to be like, to 1, play the game, play the pummel game, and 2, be scared of it. If you're the grabby. Right now, you just can a lot of times just mash special button because you're scared of that, but you're not really scared of normal pummel. Except as we saw, chain grabs.
Here's a quick question. Do you have any plans to add player tags to hover over fighters in-game like in Melee?
Yes, tags will go over the head eventually. We have not done that yet because we haven't done the UI work necessary to make it look good.
But they have indicators right now.
They have what?
They have damage indicators. Isn't that more important information?
No, we do both in Rivals 1.
Okay.
We do tags and damage, and it will be both in this. Yeah, we just haven't done the UI work, and then we also need to do a filter if we're gonna. Right now, tags are not; they're just local, so there's no. We'll need to put them through like a managed filter and stuff if we're gonna have tags go online.
Yeah. So depending on our time, I mean, obviously, if you had your pick of things, that'd be lower on the list. We want it for launch, but we'll have to wait with everything else.
I think it'll definitely be there for launch. I just don't know which beta it will get put in.
Right. I also don't know how well these next few betas are going to go. Wow!
Let's go!
Well deserved.
We've got a tight finals. Excellent.
Yeah, hits. I miss having hits done in air dodge in the UI. Someone said, yeah, that's also a good point. I'd like to get that stuff back. And double jump. We never did it in Rivals, but it was in there way long time ago. There was both jump and dodge.
What are the plans to return the tumble changes next patch? Stuff like Crag down throwing rock on people to head over and over, and Loxo special pummel into down throw not popping up is very strange in my opinion.
Loxo pummel into down. Oh, I didn't know about the Loxo one. The Crag one's already fixed. Loxo one, I'll just put it in our notes right now to go test it. But no, all that stuff should be fixed for the next beta. I think it's already fixed. I don't know what build that we're playing right now, but I think we're playing a updated build from our branches, then it should be fixed in this build too. That we're watching.
Will regular backers ever get into a beta?
You mean the backers who didn't
Do the Ethereum Hero?
Maybe. We might
Kinda,
do like
kind of tough because like the people that bought that they bought it with the intention of
right of getting into betas. Yeah. We might. You can still upgrade, right? So you don't have to. You can just spend the $20 difference right now on Pledge Manager. You don't have to. It's not like you have to spend 50 to get in.
Not for some time. So if you really want to play the game, upgrade your pledge on Pledge Manager, and you have a limited time to do so. I believe the end of this month. So about a week. So get on it. Okay. Yep. This is just as furious as the last game. These two are pretty close in skill. Who do you think has the edge right now, Dan?
Well, momentum for CD, considering he won game 2. But it could be anyone. Alright, I just wrote down. I got that note on Loxo down throw on the lava. I didn't know that was also busted in the May beta.
Oh my gosh, this is actually a great suggestion. Is the skin called Soccer Crag or Stretched Goal Crag? It might be Stretched Gold now. I like that because he has a Stretched Gold for his up special.
We made that punt already, Matt. It's your first time hearing that punt?
My bad.
No, just kidding. But yeah, when we announced that this was the Stretch Goal skin, we made a joke about that.
I think it was George's pun, if I remember right.
George, when I met him, he said, "Hi, I'm George. The first thing you need to know about me is that I hate puns." And his entire relationship I've had with him over the years has proven that as a old-faced lie. That was the first fact that I learned about him.
Yeah, he's the pun master.
Dude, he's so good at them. Although I will admit, he's so good at them, and he makes a face like he hates himself when he makes the puns. So maybe he does actually hate puns. He's just cursed with the gift.
When's Orcane? Tuesday? We'll think about it. Will PlayStation controllers work on the next beta build?
They do work through Steam input.
Yeah.
Right now, the plan is, I don't know if it'll be like this for launch, but our current support is Xbox controllers directly, GameCube through Stadig, and then every other controller type through Steam input.
Jamie's got some work to make up here, but spoke too soon.
I thought Jamie was gonna do it. Just the fact that he lived for so long at like 150 plus, I was like, this comeback is looking possible. The
So
neutral
this is-
specials.
I think this is going to
Good
game
area.
5. I don't know. I'm not counting Jamie out.
Had aerial neutral special on Loxo is insane because part of the, being able to release it when you want, like being able to time it and getting rewarded more the longer you charge it. It's really good.
I don't want to. Well, Dan, do you want to focus on the match? Or you want to answer one of the big questions?
I mean, I can answer as we go, but I can also comment on the match too. Do both.
All right. Well, here's the big question: Dan, you said in a tweet that Rivals 2 is not Rivals 1 and it's not PM. Can you describe in your own words what your vision is then? Amount of tech skill needed, etc.?
I mean, the goal of Rivals 2 is very similar to the goal of Rivals 1. So, I played Smash Brothers Brawl competitively. I liked it, even though I learned quickly why everyone had their gripes with it. Brawl became out of flavor. Smash, Melee, and PM got popular. Tried to get back into Melee, and it was too hard. So, like, one of the goals from the beginning of Rivals, and now going into Rivals 2, is, you know, taking some of the coolness that is the movement and everything from Melee, and just making it more accessible, modernizing it, right? Having a buffer, having, you know, more forgiving inputs for something like weight dashing. So those are still core to like the main mechanics of Rivals, right? Like we're not trying to make any specific tech. Like, of course there are things that you can do over one frame and things that are difficult, but like the core moving around should feel good and intuitive and feel like a modern, you know, closer to something like Ultimate in terms of how intuitive it feels versus Melee. And then just, you know, this game, the evolution is just more, to me, the evolution is just more mechanics, right? And if that meant some things are removed, you know, something like Drift DI is because the way, you know, knockdown and hit confirms work, it's kind of balanced around not having Drift DI for the combo game. That's because we're starting with more pieces, right? Drift DI was a necessity in Rivals 1 because of kind of the limited ways that you could get out of things, like combos being too true. It was like a way to alleviate that, and that is how a lot of Rivals mechanics were. It was like reactions to the way the game was playing.
Wow, I thought Jamie would have at least taken it to last stock the way these two have been playing this set, but man, CD is just dialed in. He's got his number.
It's not my time!
I like that effort though to try to get
back.
Yeah. Now, if you hit someone with an attack, you get your wall jump back. I don't know if you do if you like hit an article, like pillar. That looks like that was what CD was trying to do, was get back to the wall and then wall jump up special, but I don't know if he was gonna have his...
Oh! Did get to the last stock.
Oh my gosh. This would be the greatest comeback in Rivals 2 history thus far. Jamie can pull it off.
Well, I want to see a game 5, so I'm rooting for Jamie. He's won my heart. Oh no! Here it is. Oh!
That up strong was just a little too hasty.
All right. Well, CD moves on to grand finals. Jamie gets tossed to losers to face the gauntlet that is Trevor. Dan, I got a big question for you. What is your philosophy on updating returning characters?
Well, that's a great one. So, yeah, I saw some people talking about how they were upset to not see the characters change more, right? Especially like some of the normals. Like, right, obviously we're adding new attacks. They all have new throws. And they were also like upset to see not as much interactions with their core mechanics on some stuff like the throw. So, for example, like Loxodon's down throw interacting with his puddle. Bleats now just back throw, but was back throw and up air interacting with the tornado, time bomb, things like that. And one of the reasons we're not changing too much is, one, we think that Rivals is a good base, and we're kind of excited to just see how the characters feel straight up when you put them in a new engine, because so much changes. Just adding shield, for example, like a lot of the ways the mechanics change. So like part of it is like, let's put them in and see what it's like. And then a lot of the characters haven't, you know, we've had to make some adjustments in terms of frame data and things like that, but we haven't had to do like full rescopes of like rethinking a special, for example, because they all can kind of adapt to either having a ledge or whatever. So that's one of the reasons why you don't see too much of like, hey, this, you know, Rastar is a completely new neutral air. It was more like, let's put his neutral air in and see how it plays first and kind of tweak it to where we like it. And then in terms of not like, for example, why doesn't more throws interact with mechanics? We did experiment with some of that in the early design phase. One of the reasons we don't do a lot of it, we do it sparingly, is because you don't want to feel like forced into like prescriptive combos, right? Where it's like, because of the game state, you have to do this forward throw because you have to, light on fire, for example, or you have to. If Zetterburn had one where he consumed, right? Imagine a throw that consumed. It's like, well, now every time you land a grab when they're on fire, you're of course going to do this throw for the extra damage and the extra knockback. And it honestly becomes less creative instead of more creative, if that makes sense. So like, we do like them to interact with it, but we don't want it to be like so overwhelming that it's like, hey, if you grab the game, if you grabbed in this state, like you're always doing that. And we also just want you to be creative in how you follow up, right? So something like Fleet, like if you imagined all of her throws marked, for example, like at that point, it's less creative because you could imagine, you do a throw, like a down throw, and then you hit them with your powered up bow right after, is like more unique than, every time you grab, you're instantly tornadoing them. So that's one way why we don't we're not over centralizing putting passives onto things like the throws. Yeah, that's kind of how I see the evolution right now.
Cool. When the game comes out, can you still play the playtest edition? No.
No.
What about native GameCube on Linux/Steam Deck?
That is a great question. Somebody has figured it out, because I know somebody ran a tournament using their Steam Deck, and was able to get GameCube on there. We're actually looking into it ourselves on like other ways to support the GameCube controller, not just for Steam Deck, but just for like going forward. Like, we understand that Zadig is like not the best process because it means everyone who wants to play with GameCube has to, do this installation. So like, we're looking into other options of like ways that we can basically access the GameCube controller without forcing people to have to install, to swap their driver over. If we get that, then if we can get that working before launch, that will obviously work for Steam Deck. But in the meantime, I think there is a way to get it working on Steam Deck. I just don't know the process, so you're gonna have to like Google it, or maybe ask the Rivals of Aether subreddit, because like I said, I've only just seen people talking about it working. I haven't actually seen what the process is for it.
We'll try to support as much as we can, but we're constantly prioritizing different features, and it's kind of a giant mess of things. So if it's not in, it's not because we haven't forgotten, or we've forgotten, or things like that. It's just a lot to do and little time to do it. At full game release, will there be character tutorials? This is something I've been really battling against, trying to get it on the schedule. It's really hard with everything else that's going on right now. I guess the best answer I can have is we don't know. We're going to have something for character tutorials in terms of learning characters at release. We've talked about putting it in game. We've talked about putting it out of the game. We've talked about doing some sort of hybrid where it's in game, but it's more like text based or video based. We're going to have something on release, but it's something that keeps getting away from us and getting off the schedule and back on the schedule and off the schedule. So we're trying. At full game release, will Rivals 2 be able to use the same playfab account as creatures? Yes. Yes, indeed. Let's see here. Do you ever experiment with special throws? Yeah, we experiment with everything in the game. We test things out. Dan, you gonna grow a beard soon or stay clean shaven?
My beard is not great. It's comes in. Maybe.
Is that because I'm on stream? You gotta look at my beard.
I would say like half the dev team probably has beards on our team, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot of clean shaven left. I mean, as soon as I can grow a nice beard, then I'll probably have a beard. That's the way I would put it. Maybe it will never come for me though. That day will never come, and then I just won't have a beard. Accepted my fate.
Would you consider allowing setting dedicated buttons or some specific character or for some character-specific stuff like Maple Tether or Fleet Float.
We want to avoid character-specific stuff as much as we can, but I'm pushing for as much kind of customization as possible. Like, we did hear people asking both the grab and parry button to do different things because we have it shortcutted to Nair and neutral special in the air. People don't want that. We might give options for that kind of stuff, right? So it's like you can do attack, aerials. The big thing that we have to balance about anytime we do any custom control options is when it becomes just kind of like objectively the best control scheme. Then we have to think about is that really what we want? I think even some of the ones that look insane, if you watch videos of people using special stick to do like wave bouncing stuff, like what you're giving up to use special stick, like over tilt stick or even strong, like drifting aerials, is enough that like I'm not too concerned about having easy access to like wave bouncing in that scenario. But when it's something where you change an option and it's just better without any downside, then we really do have to think about it, because it changes the, at that point you're balancing the competitive game around those new controls as opposed to the default controls.
Nice. All right, we get our first look at the great Dev Hope, Trevor Youngblood, coming in with the Raster against Pikmin. What do you think, Dan?
Pikmin has upset Trevor before, I believe.
How do you feel about this matchup for Raster?
I personally don't like it, but my Raster is very bad. I think it's one of Raster's harder matchups though, because if Claren just plays passively and doesn't approach, other than the forward special to like interrupt Claren's what she's doing, it's really hard to get in on Claren's range. Especially up tilt. Claren's up tilt covers like 90% of the ways Raster wants to approach.
It is funny to me watching the evolution of Trevor's character selection, because he's very confident when he knew all the tricks, and would go random and could beat you with any character. And then recently I've seen him like exclusively pick Raster and locks it out.
Yeah,
like,
I mean
this competition is getting more vicious.
It actually is going to be a problem for him, going forward. Because I kind of, in Rivals 2, have the opposite, where in tournament I pretty much only play Maple. But I'm not as good as Trevor, but like, I always know that, if my Maple lost, then like, that was my best chance. And Trevor's at a point where like, if he loses a set, he's always like, well, if I had gone Zetterburn, maybe I would have had a better shot.
Here's a fun question for you, Dan. How long before Mikey beats you in Rivals Best of 3? They didn't say Rivals 2, so I'm assuming they're talking about Rivals 1. But, all right, here's a better question. Will Mikey beat you in Rivals 1 or Rivals 2 Best of 3 first?
I gotta imagine Rivals 2, because, well, I'm worse at Rivals 1. But, he's still, like, it's funny at that age, like, what comes easy and what's harder. Like, he's insane on, like touchscreens. Like, we got him a game on the iPad where he just knocks down castles, and he just can do it by himself at 3. But, like, an Xbox controller is, like, pretty foreign and takes time to learn. So, like, just picking up a controller, like, I think Rivals is a harder game to get into at a young age than, other games.
Oh, yeah. Lots of mechanics. Lots of... Which, the thing that I greatly appreciate Rivals and Rivals 2 especially. Oh, wow. First game going to Pikmin. Incredible.
Yeah. That last combo, like, took out not just... That was, like, the whole stock, basically, because went from low damage to F-strong tipper, ending it.
Yeah, what I really like about Rivals 2 is it doesn't kill my hands. Like, Trevor and I used to be roommates, and he would, like, give me 10 stocks, and I wouldn't be able to get one off of him. in Melee, but it just hurt my fingers. Like, you gotta do it like this. This is how you wave dash. I'm like, oh my gosh, why? Why would you do this to yourself? Oh, Trevor bringing the Clarin as well to match Pikmin. That's gonna be awesome to see.
That's what he should do. He can play every character, so he should just play you in the Ditto.
Well, it's not working out for him so far. Maybe Pikmin has gotten the secret cheat codes for Clarin.
I will say, yeah, the GameCube controller still hurts my hands, even playing like Rivals with it. I gotta use Xbox because I got old man fingers now.
I need your hands healthy. I need you to write those emails.
Also, I had been sick all this week, so for people, if they're worried that I've aged drastically since the last time you saw me on a stream, no, I'm just recovering from some kind of cold. And
You also saw what Loxodon was like during the beta, so, yeah.
What was Loxodon like during the beta?
Dominant! All over the place. Maybe I have, what's it called,
Yeah, you're just scared of Loxodon, maybe.
Yeah. Confirmation bias, that's it.
Yeah. He's in your nightmares.
Yeah. It's another Loxodon! They're everywhere!
The elephant never forgets, and Matt never forgets about them.
Yeah. Well, Trevor
honestly,
trying to get neutral.
If you watched all these dev tournaments, you know, there's reason to fear the elephant, for sure.
And I was eyewitness to what SBS did in the Colorado local.
Oh, did he go all Loxo too?
All Loxo. Screaming at the audience. And he's the best Loxodon there ever was, ever will be.
I don't know. CD.
CD, yeah.
Name
Steven's on vacation this week, but yeah, he's missing out. He'd get a good Loxo ditto if he was here. Is Clarin gonna purr in the next beta?
She gonna purr?
Yeah, purr. Like a cat.
Probably not. Do panthers purr? I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah. Short hop on 2 jump buttons, shortcut like in Ultimate. You think we're gonna add something like that?
I could see it, sure. We request it in the next month's request feature thing. Actually, it might be on there. If it's on there, we'll make a card for it. We'll sign it to somebody.
Alright. Do you think Trevor's gonna take this to last stock?
To be honest,
Kind of getting bodied, even though he went with the Ditto.
He just goes Zetter.
Oh wow. It's best of 5, I believe. So Trevor does have another chance. He can't pull it off here, but things are not boding well with this game. I wonder if he's watching the stream and grumbling to himself. Oh yeah, he's going bad, and I'll show you. But yeah,
the age of Trevor. What if the age of Trevor's ending? Who will
that's
be
the 3. Oh wow, this is it. That's it. Oh my gosh.
Trevor's out.
Trevor's out. The great Dev Hope gone. Jamie remains.
Only Jamie. Well, yeah, no, Jamie's pretty far in, sitting in what, losers finals?
Losers finals, yeah.
Waiting.
I think he's playing Pikmin next. I could be wrong. I don't know how to read a bracket, so no.
That was
Oh,
best of
you
3?
scroll. Oh, yeah, he plays Jamie. I had some other questions.
Pikmin, Pacific Northwest, I believe. You know, let's go. Seattle is just the best. It's just very talented area.
Hey
Where-
Dan, do you want a box controller for your old man fingers?
No. I don't.
Okay.
But thank you.
Dan,
person.
what's your favorite genre of music?
That's a good question.
Think we're ever gonna get hip hop in the game?
I
Hippity hop?
don't know if I have a favorite genre. I kind of listen pretty wide. Like this year, for example, I liked the new Beyonce album. Is really good. Been listening to a bit of Noah Khan.
According to your Spotify, it's a lot of Frozen and Disney.
Oh yeah, Mikey likes Frozen 2 and the Lorax soundtrack. Those are on repeat. So yeah, those are that's what Spotify Rewind thinks I like.
Here's a question for the both of you. How much consideration do you take from traditional fighters? Could a 2D like Street Fighter or 3D like Tekken when designing Rivals of Aether, Rivals 2?
We take a lot of inspiration. I mean, the one thing to remember too is like going back to Smash 64 is Sakurai taking a lot of inspiration from traditional fighters. Especially his time with King of Fighters. So we take a lot of inspiration, even like looking at a character, right? When we're like starting a new character in particular, it's like kind of looking at other games and seeing what archetypes we're missing. One of the things that's kind of separated Rivals a little bit is like I definitely looked even outside of fighting games, right? So like a lot of the early characters where I was taking stuff from like MOBA, right? So like League of Legends, there's some inklings of league abilities just spread throughout rival specials. Like Raster's Current was inspired by like Galio had a move like that, which has now been removed. So now it's actually Raster's
It lives on
thing.
forever.
Yeah. Now if League adds another move like that, we'll be like, oh man, they ripped off us. But no, it was like a tornado that he threw and then he moved faster in it. I thought that was cool, and I like kind of converted it to a way it would work in platform fighters. And then even like Forsburn's clone split was kind of inspired by like Shaco in League of Legends, where he like splits into two and one's the real one and one's the fake one. So those were just to get like individual pieces, and then I always had like high level ideas of like this is what the character is from a high level, and Forsburn was always deception. And then like someone like Orcane was like based all around the puddle was like his big thing. It was like a trap character with like the puddle as the main trap. And then when it comes to traditional fighters, I think as we're working on Rivals 2, I'm honestly referencing more and more traditional fighters when it comes to just the way they're so good at game feel. Like when I look
animations.
Yeah, that too. Like when I look at a Street Fighter trailer, man, like the Capcom animators are just so good, and the VFX artists and their whole team, sound effects, everything they have mastered. Like a hit just feels so good in those games. So we're definitely like looking at it and trying to like deconstruct and break apart pieces. Even if you look at Rivals 2, you can definitely see some Guilty Gear inspirations and kind of the VFX work and how we're doing a lot of the treatments of like the readability and the characters. But yeah, we're definitely inspired by traditional fighters, and I think we'll probably have characters that are inspired by traditional fighting mechanics too as the game evolves and we add, more characters and more just more stuff as we go through. So it is a big inspiration for us, and I think it'll keep being one.
I'm super lame. When I think of a question like that, my brain immediately goes to what are they doing for players? Like what features and expectations are they setting in the genre? What are they doing for customization? What are they doing for business model, skins, cosmetics, challenges and things like that? Like what's the loop? So I look at it from a very business-minded aspect. That's kind of a reason, or one of the skills I bring to the team. I do have a business background, so I look at it from the money grubbing side of it, unfortunately. But yeah, it's definitely an evolving industry. And don't quote me on that saying, well, Tekken does this cool thing, why don't you guys? It's like we only have a certain amount of time to do a bunch of these features. So kind of figuring out what works really well for them and why players gravitate towards it, and learn from those wins and losses and their failures. Paying attention to what players don't like and the perceptions there. So definitely look at those games from that angle. We've got Jaeger versus Pikmin. Who you got on this one, Dan? Jamie, always. Well, it's neck and neck so far. It's tough matchup for Claren, I think. Crag, you know, he makes his own rules, and so while he's a big hitbox, I think it's going to be hard for Claren to get in when the hitboxes are flying all over the place from Crag.
Yeah, it's a really tough matchup for Claren in Rivals 1. It's because, like, you're basically not killing Crag without a tipper, because he's so heavy. And then he can kind of get around, like, Claren's counter can be pretty useful in certain matchups, like against Fleet, but even if you put it out, because he has down special and other moves, and, like, forward special, he can still play around it.
And of course, we have to have Jamie, the last dev in the tournament, win. Gotta get in the finals for the rematch. But Pikmin has fought hard for this this opportunity, so don't count him out.
Happy seeing either grand finals. The nice thing about the, I always like to, sometimes I cheer for the other one just because to see another matchup, especially if the winners finals was like really dominant. You know, you want to see if the other player has a better shot. Also, seeing the Claren Luxon matchup is pretty volatile. So I think I'd be happy seeing either Pikmin or Jamie go on, except the fact that Jamie's a dev, and I want, you know, I think Dev will win the dev tournament. That's the only thing really making me cool for Jamie.
Here's an interesting question. What are you looking for during beta testing? What is mostly supporting testing or like balance issues? Like what are we like looking for when we see beta test?
I think like the feedback that's coming in is good, because when it's loud and everyone's agreeing on something, then like obviously it's something we want to address. The crouch canceling, the timing is unfortunate, because what happened is I think two things happened at the same time. At the skill level people are getting to, so kind of the second beta weekend is basically like a lot of people's third or fourth day with the game. I think you are going to run into crouch canceling and have to start coming up with strategies against it. But then also the changes to nerf reaction tech chasing made it better. So because those two timings were happened at once, of course, like I would say the loudest volume was people saying that they do not like crouch canceling and it's way too strong. Which we do agree. Like I said, we're tweaking it, and it wasn't intended to be as strong as it was. But I also think there was going to be some reaction to it, even if it was at intended strength. Like I think people, as you get better, you run into it, and then you kind of get to a point where you kind of have to adapt around it and figure out what the counterplay is to it. So that's a big part, just hearing the loudest voice. And then the other thing too is prioritizing.
Oh. No, Jamie, no!
I look good, and got the tipper F strong at the end. That note board that we used this time is super helpful to us, because you know, obviously if we go look at the top 20 right now, I would say like, I don't know, 7 of them are about crouch canceling, and like yes, we're gonna address that, but like the other 13 are like things that we know we need to do, but it helps us move it up the priority list, right? So like the regions, holding B to go back, other accessibility features when it comes to online menus.
For me, I am really just checking in on the systems that are often new and coming into the game, and of course, you know, just like following up on fixes. So how is the netcode doing? How are servers connecting? How are regions selecting? How many sentry bugs are we getting? How many reports of this or that are we getting? So it's really just a bunch of quality assurance of the game, making sure that we're ready for the larger audience on release. Very grateful for everyone that's participating in the beta, because you're going to make this game not only fun and you know, for you know, based off of what the feedback you give us, but more prepared for the larger audience on release, and giving us the lifetime and the legs for the game that we're wanting, you know, the success that we're hoping this game can achieve. So really, like, you know, you got into the beta to you know, get a sneak peek, but you're giving us a ton of valuable feedback and preparedness, which is going to make the game more successful in the long run. So Pikmin off to a really strong start. Up the stock and then is kind of dominating the second life as well. Jamie needs to figure out something to turn this around. What would you tell him right now if you could pull him aside?
I mean, yeah, it's tough. I think with Crag, you when it's not working, you gotta go back to rock.
Always return to rock.
Yeah, slow it down. Start zoning.
Yeah, don't let Claren play your game. You play Crag game. You play rock game. When she chooses scissors, you choose rock. And when she chooses paper, you choose rock. And when she chooses rock, you're the rock.
Yeah, and the nice thing about Crag zoning is you have so many different ways to throw it. So even when you like go to zone, you can kind of be unpredictable in your timing. Whereas someone like Zetterburn, if you're just like retreat, throw fireballs, it's like that's a lot less useful on its own without mixing up, other options into it.
Now, is this best of 3 or best of 5?
This should be best of 5.
With
This
best of 5,
losers
okay.
finals. Although after we rebranded with lag in Rivals 1 as hit canceling, we were trying to rebrand the losers bracket as the bracket of alternate success because we felt losers bracket was too demoralizing.
Second chance bracket. How about that?
Yeah, it never stuck. The losers bracket.
Oh, big strong.
So instead, we just doubled down on it. We said if you didn't want to be in losers bracket, then you should have tried not losing. That okay. Don't get him. Don't, that what I say to Jamie. I say don't get him attack at like 145. The ledge dash. Do something that's like harder to react to.
So
Like,
you're
you
Jamie's
attack.
coach. Are you telling him to switch it up, or are you telling him to get right back in there? Quit messing up.
Don't ledge attack or ledge special when you're above 100. Just do another option because you don't want to be. You get shield grab there, like you're not set up for a fun time.
So here's a question: what made you decide to focus more on changing system mechanics rather than changing characters?
We think the characters are dope. We wanted to see them in a new engine. Like I always felt like that was the strongest part of my design in Rivals was like the individual characters and how they all work together and how they work. Their movesets are cohesive, but then also how they all play against each other. One thing I want to keep doing and do more of in Rivals 2 that we haven't seen much yet is like more opportunity to use people's mechanics against them. Whether, like we have a bit of that, like you can attack Crag's rock shards into him and combo with that. You can put Fleet's tornado on her and you can like kill her with that combo. You can parry Lily and get the invincibility and use that to start a combo on Maple. I want to like do that stuff more. Yeah, and like that's kind of where we felt like one of the strongest points of Rivals 1 was, and we got to add even more stuff, right? Like adding shields, adding throws, grabs. We got to increase kind of the mechanics and the different attacks on every character.
Yeah, which that's a big thing too. Is we could absolutely that is a valid design consideration. It's like why not just expand on what you've done in Rivals 1 and kind of take the platform fighting genre in that direction. But something that you've mentioned to me, Dan, is a lot of the mechanics that are in Rivals 2 you wanted in Rivals 1 in the original design, but you were limited in the time that you had and the budget that you had and the scope that you had, so you cut a lot of those features. And so when the opportunity to create Rivals 2 came along, it was kind of just I don't want to say a no-brainer, but you were excited to see what the game would play like with the mechanics that you see in other fighters. And as well, Trevor, coming from those fighters, want to see these mechanics as well with the characters that we love.
Yeah, and I think going back to how similar it is to Smash, it's never our goal to make it like very similar to Melee or very similar to PM or very similar to Ult. Like it's basically like we're just trying to combine Rivals with one other game. It's more that like we want to get more mechanics, kind of like deepening rivals, like even knockdown, get attacks, get up specials, ledge attacks, ledge specials. All of those are like new mechanics that we get to add. And the reason like it is feeling, to a lot of people, to more similar to Smash, is like a lot of stuff in Smash like works together, and it's the same way Rivals 1 was. A lot of the mechanics in Rivals 1 work together because of how.
Jamie.
Oh,
Jamie.
Knocked out.
That's rough, man.
But yeah, a lot of the mechanics in Rivals 1 work together as well. So it's like no mechanic kind of exists in a vacuum by itself. If you pull like one puzzle piece out, then you need and you try to put a different one in. If it's not the same piece, you need to pull out a bunch of things, right, to like change it the way that you want to change it. So like we're viewing Rivals 2 as like, the mechanics are being built upon we've decided is in there. And there'll be a lot of stuff that we're pulling from every game, not like we're pulling from Rivals when it comes to solutions, right? Like we do have clever ways that we fix stuff, and we already have, there's a lot of little Rivals 1 stuff, not just keeping hit falling, but like, we looked at like, well, what did we do in Rivals 1 when we had this problem? Like, for example, if Raster's up air is too good, well, it's like, well, in Rivals 1, Raster's aerials have like 0.8 times hit pause instead of like 1.0, and that's because when they were 1.0 at launch, Raster was just comboing everyone endlessly. So just kind of looking at things like that, and maybe we say, okay, well, we don't like that solution for Rivals because that breaks XYZ, and then it's like, okay, well, let's compare to other games. Like what does Melee do with someone like Jigglypuff? Like how is it that her up air isn't oppressive? So we're pulling from all the games and all the options, but we're not like married to being super close to a single design. It's more like, how do we solve it for this game now that we have the problems in front of us?
Real quick for our last match, can you purchase hats and backpack items, or can they be added? I want to be able to buy something on multiple characters. This is something we've talked about internally. You'll see that some character skins do have articles, so the technology exists. For instance, Bandit Maple has a hat. It's a lot of work to be able to customize that, and like, so say you buy a hat, and then what does Bandit Maple look like with another hat on top of her hat? So it's something that we kind of need to think more about internally and solve before we roll that out, if we roll that out. So it's a tough problem to solve. The technology exists, it's just tough to customize.
Yeah, say my answer to that would be like, we are planning it to run the game like a service that has a bunch of cool updates and cosmetics that get added over time. But think of your favorite long-running game that you play, whether it's Fortnite or Brawlhalla or Rocket League or League of Legends, and think about their first year or two, like the amount of stuff that they had in the shop, the different options, and then think about now the amount of different items, right? So even though there is, like, we've definitely had ideas for all different kinds of stuff, but there's only so much we can commit to, and there's only so much. It's honestly, the majority of the work at that point is UI. There's only so much time we have to do UI work. So we definitely want to add stuff, but we don't want to do anything where it's like haphazard and feels like tacked on. Like,
right.
If we're gonna add a new cosmetic option, then we want it to be cool, and we want to have like enough stuff at launch to like feel like a good piece of the whole puzzle.
And then last question before we turn to the match, would it be possible to let players host their own private servers? It helps players who live in remote regions.
Well, speaking of private servers, these two are basically playing a local match because they're near the Pacific Northwest server, it looks like. They're both under 10 ping, which is kind of insane. Right now, we don't have plans for private servers. We are using like a third-party network solution, SnapNet, and we have talked to them about like what that would look like and how that would function, but we don't have plans in place for launch. I think it's one of those things where we identify that people, especially far away from servers, are going to need it, but we don't know like what our timeline is going to be for adding that kind of feature. Especially when you think about stuff like progression and everything, how that is going to play in when the servers are hosted locally. But we are thinking about it. We just don't have like any official plans at launch to be able to support that right now.
All right. Well, we're neck and neck, one stock each. How are you feeling about this matchup, CD versus Pikmin?
I mean, I'm kind of excited that, like I said, I think having a different character / player matchup for Grants is exciting, and I mean, I'm worried for CD because, like I said, Claren to me feels like a problem because she can not as disjointed as Loxo, especially on something like forward tilt, but she has a lot of disjoint and she has a lot more speed.
Well, CD already took out Dox, who was playing Claren earlier in the tournament, so I guess he is playing the better of the two Clarens now, but still.
Dox took out Trevor in winners, right?
Yep.
Trevor got double eliminated by Claren.
So Pikmin is bringing a whole new, but he did 2-0 Dox, both playing Claren. We saw that match earlier.
I will say, if you guys look at the June beta patch notes and there are any Claren nerfs, you will have seen the evidence for what. I don't know, actually. I don't know if there are any on the way.
Excellent tip there to finish off the stock. Right, last stock, Godai Delta, Duel of Fates, Claren Loxo. This is the rivals you want.
That forward air is looking hard to beat for Loxo. If he can't get to the ground, he doesn't really have like a quick air option that can challenge that.
Right.
Oh. Thought it was over there. But now we got full lava charge. DD just taking his time.
Ooh. Such a high percent, he's going for it. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, the advantage all of a sudden had to use the lava charge to get back to stage safely. So now it's looking getting close to last hit situation for both players.
Yup. There it is. Man, Loxo just feels so inevitable. Like, once you get that one hit, you're juggling them. I saw it a lot in local, just like Loxo can just finish so well because he's so the knockback is so predictable. It feels like.
So the parry there too. So this is the new build, which I believe we're playing on. We just dropped. So you always removed invincibility, but it used to be you could still drop ledge very quickly, and because parry has like a pretty long recovery in Rivals 1, there wasn't much guaranteed. So in the May beta, it was like 20 frames that you had to hold, which meant like that's a pretty long time. If you're parrying Loxo's up special, you're getting like strong attacks on him, like down strongs to punish him if you parry his up special. So this build, it should be reduced, I believe, down to 7 frames, which means like you can get tilts, but not necessarily, you know, a strong attack punish. And we saw that right there, where Loxo did the down parried up special, down tilt, popped up, and then got the hit confirm out of it.
So Pikmin able to squeak a cheeky one early in this set. Very excited to see if he can turn that into a W. Gotta make this winners, this grand finals, all we hope it could be.
Well, we got this stage, which is already a surprise for grand finals. People are like, why is this stage in the game? And one, have some fun. That's my first feedback. And then 2, how are you gonna know that the other stages are good without having this stage to compare them to?
That's right. Yeah, as someone who not the best at these games, this stage confuses me. I don't get it.
Well, don't worry, because
also
competitive
neat.
players hate it even more.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
I think starting.
I'm really glad we made the stage. One, it looks cool. It's like probably the most visually interesting stage.
Yeah, Ty did such a good job on this one, and our concept artist as well. We worked with Fireball Studio.
I almost every artist I've worked with in the industry, they love a glowy like ice material. Like you see that in the back of there with the rocks and like he's doing ice in general. They love that material, and they also love basalt columns, like from volcanic formations. You know what I'm talking about?
Like in Moana.
Yeah, it's everywhere, dude.
They climb the thing.
I think Dragon Age Inquisition, if you remember that game, like entire second half of the game is just a giant area of basalt columns.
It might just be because hexagons are cool. Did you ever think about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. They're like, wait, this is not like fantasy. This actually exists. Yeah. Oh well, I'm gonna make it like this very unique formation just appear everywhere. An entire continent of basalt columns. Yes.
I mean, it's a fantasy world. I say I'm down.
Hopefully, I'm making somebody in the chat giggle who knows what the hell I'm talking about.
Well, as someone who like played World of Warcraft in like high school, I think like the stuff that you were just saying that they think is cool is like that's what I also think is cool.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Anytime they would show like Ty and Mason would show me new stuff, especially anything hand painted, I'd be like, "This is the best." Merchant Port too. That
I have
Mason
a weird
did.
nostalgia about this new piece you just sent me.
Yeah. Well, anytime we did a new stage, this is my favorite stage.
yeah. No, this is not my new favorite stage.
Yeah,
I know I said
this
this
is
last
my
time, but
favorite stage.
this time I'm serious.
No, this is my favorite stage now.
Oh, I had picked Ben early in this match from that cheeky one he got early, and here it is.
There we go. 1-1.
So before we leave it too far, why are there no boats in the harbor? It looks really like desolate and barren.
I don't know how much Edelus lore has been revealed. You gotta go to the website to read Edelus's story. But I will say things are looking grim for your boys, the Hyperboreans, because their battle against the Dark Ice is just not good.
I love this question. Dan, is there a reason you initially decided to make characters anthropomorphic animals, or certain cases fantasy or hybrid animals, rather than humans or some other category? What's up with that, Dan?
There's 2 reasons. One, the world was kind of built off of Elementimals, which was like a triple triad game that I made. That Creatures of Aether is also based, like, they're all the same kind of thing. And that had 4 elements with all of them being animals. And then 2, I just worked on KI and I learned a lot of stuff from James Goddard, and one of the biggest being about like silhouettes. And I wanted all of the characters to have like very different body types and silhouettes that match their play styles. And I wanted to do animals to do that.
Wow, nothing about the furry market. Alright, well, yeah, I guess that's a fine answer too.
I mean, I'll be honest, I definitely learned more about that community once Rivals started, once I was developing Rivals.
That's the first thing people say to me when I show them what I work on. They're like, oh, so it's like a furry fighter? I'm like, no! They're anthropomorphic characters, okay? And they're cool. But I like your answer way better. That's like great.
And I will say, even in our designs, we're still a little different. Like, if we go back to my initial designs, they're a little like, I was leaning closer to like Pokemon. Definitely still like anthropomorphic, but like, there was another game that was kickstarted that was like, more furry design. I think ours has always been about like the playstyle silhouette over the, you know, the characterization of how you're combining the animals and the people.
Yeah, like look at Lockstot and his skirt, and look at Daedalus and his not skirt. Why doesn't the polar bear have pants? You know?
Why doesn't the polar bear have pants? That's a really good question. And that's one, it will take us years to answer, probably. We'll have to do a GDC talk on it.
Yep. That should be the title of the GDC talk. Why doesn't the polar bear have pants?
That would be a good talk. The subtitle is like the designs of rival, the character.
Yeah, rivals too.
Yeah. Why doesn't Maple have pants?
Yeah, great question.
No.
Is Crack's shell is part of his body, or is that just like what he puts on every day? Or his armor, you know?
Do you think he feels rain when it rains on his shell?
What does Crack's skin feel like?
I think it's scaly. I've done a lot of thought in this area, and I think it's like a lizard, maybe, or an
So,
exoskeleton.
are you worried about oh gosh, CD here? Do you think
Power.
CD
I?
can pull it back?
I don't think so. I think once you're on the result screen, it's really hard to come back from.
I mean, on the whole match, the whole series.
Oh, well, he's sitting in winners.
Down 2-1.
So I think even if he loses this game, he still has an opportunity to win the tournament.
Yeah, but that'd be lame. I guess SBS did lose his winners finals or whatever.
Oh, really? Or grand reset, you mean?
Grand reset. Yeah.
He got resetted.
Lost and then won. Yeah. Grand. He eventually won the tournament, but yeah, he did lose one set.
Was that before or after he yelled at the crowd that he was the last set?
Before. Yeah, me included, started down in SBS and wondering if he should switch it up to Raster, and then he won the first game of the grand reset, and yeah.
Let's go.
Told everybody he's the best.
Well, at least good thing he didn't throw a chair.
That's true. Do we need to start like locking chairs to the floors at locals? That's what HBox has done to us.
I'm scared, dude.
Are you gonna be a chair for Halloween this year?
No. Oh no, I'm gonna
funny.
be yet. I'm not gonna be that.
Why is Parry so slow in Rivals 2?
Because you have a lot of other defensive options, and it's for reacting to, or it's for punishing really reactable stuff, or for a heartbeat. That's what Parry's for.
What is more fun so far, singles or doubles? I got this one. Fleet free-for-all.
What is more fun, singles or doubles? It depends. If I'm like, so if we have like a dev tournament coming up and it's Thursday, I wanna play singles against somebody. Like I wanna be grinding that. If we're just playing for fun and there's a bunch of people available online, then I wanna play doubles because all 4 people can play and it's just more fun. Especially if you're playing random character, I think doubles is more fun.
I like free-for-all as Fleet, and I sit in my little sniper's nest, and I just let chaos reign until someone comes and chase me, and then I don't like that, but before they're sick of me, I have a great time.
You might be the only person on the dev team who likes free-for-all, and you know what? I respect that.
It's where my true skills can shine.
We have to have as many perspectives as possible.
In the original Kickstarter roadmap, it says that Q3 of 2024 there will be a larger beta test for backers. Does this mean people who aren't Ethereum Hero Tier will have access?
We are considering doing like an open, using Steam's playtest feature to let people sign up, but then it would be everyone would have the same probability of getting accepted. So we haven't confirmed that yet. It was either going to be July or August beta was our thought process for doing that, and it would be if you don't want to pay for the access, you could try to sign up for basically that raffle. And I believe Steam handles it all for us. So basically, you sign up on the Steam page, and then we just say how many people get in, and it automatically chooses people that get in.
Cool.
Pikmin is getting geared up for this reset.
No fear.
I
Just
know.
flying off the edge.
Yeah, the aggressiveness at ledge is pretty good.
You know, Loxo can punish you for that pretty viciously with the down strong. Stomp you into the dirt.
I mean, Pikmin did a really good job. I noticed that last game in particular of just mixing up like when he was in advantage, not always doing the same thing, right? So like sometimes pursuing aggressively off stage, sometimes like covering the air but not committing hard, sometimes staying further in stage and waiting for the ledge dash from CD. So that's like, yeah, it seemed like pretty overwhelming from CD's perspective because every choice he was making coming off ledge or trying to recover was getting beat. All right, here's the grand finals part 2. Back to 0-0.
Wow, went with the fleet. Why?
Well, because when something's working, that's the best time to just mix it up.
Uh-huh. Do we have a display
The
here?
only answer is that Pikmin knows something that we don't know because Pikmin's in grand finals and we're commentating.
That's fair. But he also hasn't touched blocks not yet this match, so.
Well, that's just a coincidence that it looks like a really bad choice as of now.
Oh, there you go.
9%.
So, is this grand reset?
Yeah, this is game 1 of the second set.
Gotcha. We got 3-1 on the top of those.
Yeah, we should probably make a button to just reset it for this exact scenario, but it is what it is.
The games continue. Oh gosh, I lost the questions. Why doesn't wall tech let you grab ledge?
Wall tech let you grab ledge? You mean like during it?
Someone clarify in the chat. Will Aether mode stages make a return?
Not at launch, but I want to do that again. We definitely know that we need to add more features for people who want to get into the competitive game but aren't already competitive at Platform Fighters. But right now we're kind of prioritizing making sure that the core player base is happy with what we have, so then we can satisfy them and then use our our time and our money to add stuff to get more people in here, more people to play against.
Pikmin really turned that stock around, almost added 200%, and
Yeah,
really
that's
made
crazy.
that was a good comeback. Not out of this one yet, and yeah, beating CD on 2 characters, be very, very impressive. When are we getting carts of Aether?
Kart racer?
Carts of Aether.
I don't
I'm
know.
assuming it's a kart racer.
Whenever we have time to and money to make projects that aren't rivals to.
Have you considered doing some kind of smash run mode?
We considered it. Will we do it? I don't know. The earliest Rivals 2 design docs, the very beginning. So this is back when like Rivals 1. I don't even know if we had DLC characters yet. Oh, that's sick. I remember sharing it. I think I showed it to Trevor. It was like it was basically just like a MOBA platform fighter where it was like Awesome Knots, if you ever played that game. But a lot of the character movesets would have to change for something like that. Like someone like Sylvanas or Aetherless spreading stuff all over a ginormous map, even in Smash Run, would have to be thought about of how exactly that should work.
How many songs do you want per stage, or will you be able to pick any song or any stage?
We're gonna have at least 2 per stage was the plan for launch, and in terms of picking, I don't know yet. We work with the team Rezo Force, who Flashy Goodness, the original composer on Rivals, kind of formed an audio team where they're responsible for all audio in Rivals, so they're responsible for sound effects, music, and the voice as well. And they also help us on design, right? So like kind of like what features they want to see as options and stuff. So we'll probably work with them to see what they want to do, if they want to let people play any music on any stage, if they want to just do it on character select again, like in Rivals 1. We'll see what they want to do, and then we'll work with them to be able to program it.
And it's switching to Fleet. Pikmin's maybe not. Pikmin's Great Blunder. Is he gonna be able to come back to the Clarin?
You sound like the guy at the commercial break on like the Pokemon show.
Doesn't he know that Rock type doesn't work against Pikachu?
I doubt after these quick commercial ads, I forget what they would say back in the day.
Who's that Pokemon?
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Can y'all make perfect shielding more noticeable? A different visual or audio cue? They're very similar to normal shielding.
We probably could, yeah. The one thing is it's not insanely as, not as strong as like a parry, obviously, a perfect shield, so like we didn't want it to be as drastic, but I think that's a fair ask.
Oh man, where's Pikmin gonna show me up and turn this around?
Oh, misinput there, looked like on that tech chase scenario.
Ooh. Oh! Went for it. There it is. Oh! Good DI. Is it enough? Got him where he wants him. Oh!
Oh! Oh, sorry about Sunny.
Oh, I would have jumped off the ledge chasing that. Yeah, that's why Pikmin's in the grand finals and I'm not.
Oh, the neutral air.
Oh!
I thought that was a KO for sure. It was wild.
Yep,
That's
goodbye.
it. That's it. Oh!
What are you gonna do as Pikmin? Oh, got ledge. Okay. Alright, reset, neutral.
Oh
Happy feet.
Gosh. Who told you about happy feet?
Hey, I was roommate with Trevor a long time.
Alright, fair. Oh, this last stock is insane. That's off the top eventually. Oh my gosh.
I found a friend. It was a little blurry for the camera, sorry. This is Rex.
Doggy.
He's wondering, why haven't we gone on our walk? We're about an hour behind.
Because Grand Finals reset.
Alright, say hi to the camera.
This means DD is up 1-0 on this new set. Let's go.
So if we were to make a Rex skin, what character should get the Rex skin?
To
make a Shaggy Clarin?
Definitely Crag.
Frag.
Just imagine fur. You know, like the Pixar test when they just like put fur on like, you know, things that shouldn't have fur.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just like that. Just everywhere. Oh boy.
All right, the Clarin Ditto. Excuse me.
Wait. Neither of these people played Claren last game.
Yeah. It would be impressive if CD turned this around, but maybe he sees the opportunity to make the switch because Pikmin played Fleet last and is not, you know, hot on the Clarin.
Wait, CD won. So maybe CD switched first because he wanted Claren against Fleet, and then Pikmin said, "Well, I don't want to play Fleet into Claren, so I'm gonna also play Claren against your Claren," and that's what got this.
Maybe. Well, I'm gonna give it to Pikmin here. I think Pikmin's got the advantage because Pikmin's been playing Claren all tournament, but so far it is tight, neck and neck.
I do think Claren seems very good against
Ooh, Hipper.
Super down strong.
Down strong. Ooh, Sylvanos Rexkin. I agree. That would be more appropriate. He is the king of the house. He could be the king of the forest. Queen of the forest. Queen of the forest.
The Alpha and the Omega.
Is there a bracket? There is a bracket. I don't know if it's publicly available.
There's a bracket somewhere. Somebody will link it. Oh, that was great because there was literally a shield drop and a parry, and still had the patience to charge through all of it.
Wow.
That tipper killed it then some. Probably could have killed it like 60.
So is there, speaking of the art of tennis, are any head games that you would bring to a Ditto? For somebody that mains that character? Did you try to do something cheesy or unexpected to kind of get them off their game?
I think the Ditto, if you're comfortable in the Ditto, it is a good play. Like, I don't like playing it when I play platform fighters. Like, I feel like I'd lose the most half-decent Maples. Mostly because I don't think I'm that good at Rivals 2. I just have more experience than people up till now. So I think it is a good idea. In terms of like anything cheesy, you kind of, like in any competitive thing, you just want to like get ahead early. Like, don't throw away that first stock, because as soon as you have them doubting, then you can, that's when you can really snowball. Especially in a game as aggressive as like both, where there's like, you know, so much advantage time. Get ahead.
Never
early.
doubt yourself, right? Because as soon as that doubt creeps in, then you're going to be on the back foot.
Yeah. Well, that's to the point where, like, yeah, play patiently, make sure you win the first exchange, and then snowball it.
Excellent tipper right there. Perfectly timed.
That was sick. I mean, this is looking pretty close. Looks like they both have been playing Claren. Well, only one of them has. Which one? Which one's the real Claren?
Pikmin. Pikmin's a real Claren.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I forgot. I think it's actually, Nas.
Oh, Dan's favorite question. Have you guys ever considered doing Echo Fighter thing? Like making a version of Claren that very visually similar, but has sweet spots in the center and sour spots at the tips, etc.?
I've never heard of that mechanic. What do you mean? So, like, the sweet spots would be close to, like, maybe, like, the hilt of the sword instead of at the tip of the blade? Would any game ever do something like that? It's a wild idea. We thought about it. We'll see.
Bradshaw Echo Fighter win.
I mean, never say never for stuff like that. One of the reasons that we've even, been thinking about it in terms of a design space is, like, if we are doing you know, like a long running game where there's a bunch of skins and stuff, then like it kind of makes an idea like Echo Fighters harder, because now, you know, it takes us less work to introduce the character because we're leaning on a lot of existing animations and mechanics and ideas. But in terms of when it gets dropped in the game, it's still a new character. It would basically have, you know, if every character has, I don't know, 10 skins, it basically has 0 at launch. And now it's like when you're doing, you know, if you just had Raster and Bradshaw, for example, you're doing Raster skins, you're doing Bradshaw skins. You need them to be different. They can't share skins, because then it's like you go into the match, if somebody's playing like Mecha Raster, it can't be identical to like the Bradshaw, because then you don't know who you're playing against. So it is something that we're thinking about, but it's not like a slam dunk thing, and it's also not something that we're prioritizing right now. I think we have enough like new ideas. But I think as the game gets older, it'd be a lot of fun to, you know, do slight variations, especially with characters in the lore. You know, we have someone like Bradshaw, or Renburn for Zetterburn, or Mayreed from the story for Maple. Like, these are characters who are similar to like their main characters, but different people. I think there's like opportunity to do stuff with them.
So CD again going with Claren despite dropping us. Wait, who won that last game?
Pikmin.
Pikmin, yeah, okay, yeah. About to say, despite losing to Pikmin on the Claren Ditto, staying stronger. Than maybe the first game was the warm-up game, and he trusts himself to get there.
Well, right now, coming already in a hole. Oh, no tipper.
And can we finally admit Claren does not have tippers? She has a sweet spot all around the edge of her sword.
I have tippers. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
So no, I'll never admit that. And I will go to my grave before admitting that. Unless I just misunderstand it, then maybe I admit it. Once again, looking pretty even, but like Pikmin just has had
that
slight
edge, yeah.
lead, that advantage.
Maybe 1 out of 10, but not 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 3 or whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
That was a sick tipper into grab though. I liked it.
Can't. CD definitely has the Claren moves, some flashy stuff in the bag. If you guys have any questions, please add them to the chat. We're getting through them. I think we're kind of caught up right now, so if I missed your question, please type it in again so we can get it before the stream's over. We're getting near the end of our stream here, as this is the Grand Finals. Grand Finals reset. And it's 1-1.
Oh, that was sick.
Here. Alright, need some big moves from CD. But Pikmin's not gonna make it easy.
I believe in the big moves. Look at these moves.
Well, that move seems to be grab. That's the move.
It's massive.
Grab is the move.
It's a good move. Now each throw is not doing much damage at all. It's like 3 or 4%. Oh
wow.
So the damage is what you mix in other than the throw.
That kills.
That did kill the tipper.
Wow. Yeah. So how you feeling about this matchup so far?
Claren versus Claren or Pikmin versus CD?
Pikmin versus CD. I'm shocked that CD is sticking with the Claren. It seems
I think we saw a
cost.
swap. I think we saw a swap. We saw looks like
It happened so
Blox's
fast
coming
I
out.
missed it.
Yeah,
All right.
my eyes can see 60 FPS. No more. The human brain cannot determine more than
Any
what was it?
plans for an 8-player mode of some kind?
Not right now. No. One of the benefits of going server-based is like being able to expand above 2 players is a lot more stable, especially in an online environment. But the game mode would have to make a lot of sense, and also like our stages and a lot of the character mechanics aren't really designed for there to be like 8 people comfortably at once. So it'd have to be, we'd have to really think about it. Maybe something like someone suggested Smash Run I could see having, you know, teams where there's more than 4 people in it at once.
I'm liking CD's chances with the Loxodon much better, but is he gonna be able to get those finger mechanics back after playing Clarence for two games? I don't know. Would we ever add items to the game on like a casual mode?
I think so. I think it's something that we could do down the road. I don't think it'd be, you know, obviously we're not doing it for launch because we're prioritizing the gameplay we have in front of us, but I could see it being something that we do later.
As somebody that's not very good at the game, I want items. I want items bad, like real bad. So fun. Be like, oh, you think you got me? What you gonna do about this hammer, bro? Or make like Loxodon's axe and pick up. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Maple with Clarence with Loxodon's axe. That'd be awesome. A true danger noodle. How are you feeling about Rivals 2 so far? Everything yeah, emotionally.
Feel great. I'm you know, like the Hulk meme where he's always angry, just perpetually stressed. So then, if you're like, does that stress you out? I'm like, it can't stress me out because I've already started at stressed. So I can't get more stressed, but it's hard to get me more stressed because I'm already so stressed, right? But other than that, yeah, it's going great. It's really good.
Yeah. There have been a couple things on the project where I really sad didn't work out, and a couple things where I was really nervous we started so late and things like this. But generally, with the thing that's been like making me feel very good is all the player feedback, what everyone's been saying. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of, you know, why not this, why that? What are you guys thinking? But for the most part, like, you know, the numbers speak for themselves. I went to that local and like it was like talking to zombie people. You couldn't pull them away from the game. They were just locked in, having so much fun. So that's what it is just people's love of the game. Man, Pikmin.
Pikmin does it. I feel bad that we weren't commentating that third stock because it was sick. But
yep.
Pikmin.
Maybe he was right. Maybe Claren was the choice because that Loxodon did not have a lot of life.
Well, we saw it in the first Grand Reset, right? We saw Pikmin, Claren versus CD Loxo, and like I said, I think it's a tough matchup for Loxodon. So I respect CD, you know, trying to make the Claren work in the Ditto, but Pikmin just, you know, like we said, had more experience, been playing Claren all day. Super sick match. Dev ticket tournament, no devs in grand finals. That's okay. Still was hype. I like the Claren Loxo fight, and then we got to see a lot of cool Claren combos, so that was cool too.
Someone's asked about PM All-Star mode. Yeah, we've talked about All-Star mode. We want it. It's on the list. When we get in.
Not only is that on the list, I would say it has a decently high chance of being sometime in the first year because Trevor really wants to add it. That's the mode that he likes to play casually. So, you know, as the lead programmer on the game, I think if he likes it, that has a good shot, but we got to get a bunch of other stuff done.
Is Guadua in the character pool? If Mark has drawn it, it's in the character pool. Just tell you there. What
Guadua,
year? I don't know. We'll see.
Guadua is maybe in the character pool right now. Maybe not. Well, we gotta work with the original creator if we wanted to do something with Guadua, but anyone, yeah, I think anyone from like the Aether lore is a possibility.
So Pikmin does it. 3-1, both in Grands and True Finals. And Winners Finals. Man, looks like he's got... Or no, it was CD in Winners Finals. But yeah, like, Pikmin just taking it.
Now, who put Pikmin
being
in
confident
losers?
in the Clarin.
That's the question.
Well, we can find out.
And we don't go back that far. Pikmin though. What a run. Toma, Dox, Youngblood, Jamie, DD. Is this the greatest Rivals 2 dev losers run of all time thus far? I think
Looks
so.
like it.
Honestly, yeah, I think it is. On account of I've lost to Toma, have never played Dox, lost to Trevor, lost to Jamie, I've lost to CD. They're all legit. Yo, let's
I might be...
go.
Kels can correct me, but Smookatelli beat Pikmin in Winners.
Yo, let's go.
Smookatelli?
Smookatelli? Who's Smookatelli? Is that their main tag? Yo, let's go. Smookatelli 2-1. Pikmin. Round 2.
Smookatelli sounds like something we get at the bistro.
Smookatelli is
side of
gonna
pasta.
love the Chef Loxodon skin.
Yes.
But yeah, this, I think we can confidently say thus far, this is the best dev tournament losers run.
Yeah, flowers to Pikmin. Staying confident, playing that Clarin.
Why are we saying Pikmin instead of Pikmin? Because we just realized we were saying it wrong.
Pikmin?
Pikmin.
I thought I was saying Pikmin. Pokemon.
The Pokies and the Mons.
Pikmin.
Congrats, Pikmin. You did it.
Pikmin.
And congrats to CD as well. Second place. 2 seconds in a row, I believe, for CD. Pretty clutch. Second best dev. That means, we'll give you, we'll send you your Trello cards pretty soon, right after this CD, and you can start doing tasks. I hope you know C++, because probably going to be a lot of bug fixing coming your way. So hopefully you can get to that on Monday.
Thanks for everybody that asked questions and asked about development. We really appreciate your interest in the project, and hope we'll see you in the betas and on launch day. Tell your friends.
Yeah, sorry to people who wanted more play-by-play. We definitely did more questions this time, but I think as a backer tournament, I don't feel bad because we had a lot of questions, and the matches were hype. They spoke for themselves. They were sick.
Dan, thank you for talking. Like, I asked you a lot of questions. Hopefully everybody feels like they got their questions answered and have more insight into why we're doing the things that we're doing.
Yes, and thank you, Matt, for guiding us to this grand finale. That is the May Dev Ticket Tournament. Thank you for watching.
Stay tuned for June. Do we know the date of the June one? I'm assuming it's the...
I think it's back to before the backer, the
21st?
So the beta is, like the
28th.
28th, and then so this one would be the 21st.
Yep, so if you want to see the next Dev Tick tournament, tune in on Friday, June 21st. And if you are part of the backer or the beta backers, join us on June 28th weekend for that beta. Lots of exciting stuff coming for the beta. It's probably going to be our biggest beta to date. So really nervous and excited about that one.
It's going to be great, and crouch canceling will be a little worse, so everyone's going to love it. Also, if you like Rivals 2, make sure you watch Combo Breaker this weekend. Find it on Twitter, the schedule. I don't have it. I don't know offhand what time we'll be doing it, but George is there. He's running the booth, and there will also be a tournament that they are running as well, so definitely watch Combo Breaker.
And can't leave without saying thank you to the development team. Work with everybody every day. It's really great to just see how everybody is not only like growing with this game, but growing in their careers and getting better at what they do. It's awesome being able to talk to everybody and see how excited they are about what we're working on.
Yes, thank you, Kels, for running this, even though you are also sick, I believe. We did it. We made it.
Watch out for the spring crud, everyone. It's going around.
I'm alive. Kels is alive. We made it.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being here. Talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye!